When the Multiverse Saga was announced, I was thrilled. I thought this was going to be better than the Infinity Saga. One of the biggest disappointments so far has been the utter lack of character variance. Let's start with the obvious miss, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I wanted to love this movie. I even bought the neon green bull from Funko Pop in a Doctor Strange G Fuel set. That's right, I did that. And I have to live with it for the rest of my life. I think the only thing I didn't do in terms of devotion for this movie was get a tattoo or wreck a relationship. Still plenty of time to do both of those things in my life. We see a few different Stranges, the one running through the opening world who looks like a yoga teacher a few months behind on his rent, the arrogant genius one we are familiar with, the evil Doctor Strange, and of course, zombie Doctor Strange. But that's also the problem. There were only 4 different Doctor Stranges. 4 different Doctor Stranges in a movie that is supposed to be all about different Doctor Stranges in the multiverse. Sure, we drop in on some Doctor Stranges in different universes, but we don't spend much time in any of them, and we don't really see the alternate character's story. In fact, we spend more time with other characters than all the Doctor Stranges combined. Loki was at least able to get 6 different Lokis, including an alligator Loki, a Loki who actually managed to kill Thor, and of course the female Loki as well. But this didn't happen until the end of the season. So none of the variants really got to have any fun interactions with each other, which is kind of the whole reason I wanted to watch Loki in the first place. Spider-Man No Way Home misfires in the same way. Yes, it was exciting to see 3 different Spider-Mans share one screen. Yes, we are lucky enough to have 3 different actors from 3 different generations of Spider-Man who have defined the role come together on the same screen. So at least they didn't pull a Star Wars sequels level fail here. But the problem is they are brought together at the end of the film. I mean, at least they got them together, but these 3 absolute legends really should have been working together for most of the movie. And that's where the character variants stop. That's the extent of the variants in the multiverse. Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and Loki. Did they forget about Iron Man, the Hulk, Captain America, Thor, Deadpool, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the X-Men?
Is that everyone?
To Marvel, the word multiverse is just a different way to spell cameo. It's not an exciting concept that can enrich their films in its own right. Equally disappointing is a total lack of alternate timelines and universes. The most we've seen of the multiverse is when Doctor Strange gets punched through it. The only other places to really see and experience the multiverse is the What If series on Disney Plus and Loki, which is also on Disney Plus. Now, I will say the What If series is a look into a truly alternate universe with a completely different timeline. One so different that it can only be told in animation. So that is one alternate universe in a saga that is supposed to be about infinite universes. Loki was supposed to be all about alternate timelines and universes, but spends most of its time confined to the most boring place possible, the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, which is like a cross between a dentist's office and the DMV. This absolutely isn't the place to launch an epic saga about the multiverse. It's literally the exact opposite. It's a place where alternate stories, and in Marvel's case, the story, is imprisoned and dies. And when Loki does get around to time travel, I immediately wished it hadn't. He goes to the most boring America-centric spots you could pick. Places like Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Wisconsin, which include such exciting destinations within these black holes of boredom as a futuristic Walmart and a Ren Fair. Okay, like I should add Pompeii and a random planet being destroyed by its falling moon. Is this really the breadth of the multiverse? Most of these places I just mentioned don't even get off planet Earth or even a few steps out into the multiverse. I mean, even the universe next door would be preferable to a futuristic Walmart located in Arkansas. Hopefully in Season 2 he can visit King Arthur's Round Table made up of Wakandans, or Wakanda made up of Groots and Rocket Raccoons, or a universe where Thor Love and Thunder in this series didn't suck. Which brings me to my next point. The Multiverse Saga just isn't strange enough. Up to now, I've spent more time with Loki, who wasn't teased as the main character of the Multiverse Saga, than I have with Doctor Strange, who was teased as the main character of this new era of Marvel. And by the time Phase 5 is completed, I will have spent exponentially more time with Loki than with Doctor Strange. What the actual fuck? There isn't even a Doctor Strange movie slated for Phase 5. How is that even possible? What terrible timeline am I trapped in? Doctor Strange should have a major movie in each phase of the Multiverse Saga. Full stop. Honestly, the Multiverse Saga has just been totally boring. The stakes don't seem high at all. The multiverse doesn't seem like it's in any sort of danger. Sure, there's some Time Lord Kang singing around at the end of time and his alternate variations are very dangerous, but we're entering Phase 5 of 6 and no one across the entire multiverse seems scared. We haven't seen multiple timelines running amok. We haven't seen multiple character variants with deep backstories colliding with characters we know and love to save the multiverse or confront each other. In short, we haven't really seen the multiverse. That's right. The most absurd part of the Multiverse Saga is that it doesn't even have much content about the actual freaking multiverse. By my count, out of about 14 pieces of content,
you've got to do better.
In the initial phase of the Multiverse Saga, we only have 4 that deal explicitly with the multiverse. Are you kidding me? In truth, I find some video games with one world to be more interesting, vast, and deep than Marvel's Multiverse. So while Phase 4, 5, and 6 are dubbed the Multiverse Saga, the future looks alarmingly small and simple, not vast and exhilarating. If Phase 4 was only sparingly playing with the multiverse, Phase 5 essentially abandons it altogether. Out of all the content planned and shared for this phase, I can only really see Antman and the Wasp Quantumania, Loki Season 2, and What If Season 2 deliberately dealing with the multiverse, and only one of these is a major film. Maybe Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Agatha Coven of Chaos will have some multiverse in it, but to be honest, it seems like that would be a real stretch. Well, what about Phase 6? Maybe all my hopes and dreams will come true in Phase 6. Secret Wars has the potential to be full of multiverse stuff, but we have a ways to go to get there and still plenty of time for Marvel to really mess it all up, or, just not include it at all. Obviously, they will deal with all the Kangs, so at a certain point there will be some multiverse in the last phase, and I'll even spot them and say Deadpool 3, with the inclusion of X-Men's Wolverine, has some sort of multiverse element in it. Very little has been shared about the exact content that will comprise this final phase in the multiverse, so technically there is still room for Phase 6 to just go completely all in on the multiverse. I desperately hope that is the case, but I just don't see it happening. It looks like I'll be stuck in this boring timeline where the multiverse means cute character cameos, some animations with huge unrealized potential, and a few more trips to some random states in America.